Hey guys, I wanted to come on to here real quick and give you a little spiel on things, since I've been talking about a mixture of things on my channel, and I wanted to get into a little clarification between what a dupe is, what an alternative is, and what a counterfeit item is. Now, if you think differently, please feel free to comment politely down in the comment section down below. But let's be mindful of everybody. Is coming from different places within life, and they can afford different things or are willing to spend money on different things and are interested, more importantly, in different things. So not all the time people are going to agree, but from my point of view, and I think holistically this is correct, if I am incorrect in anything, please feel free to enlighten me. But this is what I feel are the differences between counterfeit, alternatives, and dupes. What a dupe is a item that looks exactly like a particular bag design from a different fashion house, and is usually from the main luxury fashion houses, and they copy the exact same style. However, they do not use any of their branding. They will use their own branding on the bag and or item, because it could be shoes as well. And on top of that, it may differ in terms of the craftsmanship and the materials used. And so the person has to be mindful of that. I just did a dupe collection video where certain things were jelly sandals, certain things were leather upper, faux leather lining. I'll link that video down below. This is a recent dupe that I have in my collection that literally is the epitome of a dupe, and this is a Chanel I would say mini rectangle classic flap, and it looks exactly the same. It does not have any CCs anywhere. It does not say Chanel anywhere. Instead, it says Tiffany and Fred Paris, because that's where it was made. You're seeing some indentations from the chain strap, and that's my bad. But this design altogether is a Chanel design. There's no way around it. But they made it for themselves with their own leathers, their own craftsmanship, their own everything. So hence, this is a Chanel inspired bag done by Tiffany and Fred Paris, and this is a dupe. Okay, dupes are good for people who want to try out a design and don't want to pay thousands of dollars to achieve that design, to get that design, or want to have that look for less, or people who cannot afford it and still want that look. It's an array of different reasons why. Either they are interested in the actual big ticket item and still want to try it out to see how it works in their wardrobe. So utilize dupes for you. Dupes can be very useful, especially for hardworking people who do not have the luxury of plopping down thousands of dollars on the luxury high price tag. So and for me, most of the time the dupes do it for me, to be honest. And as I said in the previous video, I always thought Chanel was a hit or miss, but I realized it's not that I don't like Chanel designs, I just don't like their price tag. So I'm very happy to come across Tiffany and Fred Paris. And yes, so that's what a dupe is. Now, for alternatives, this is a good example of an alternative. This is my Tory Burch Small Lee Radswill handbag, and I have it kind of relaxed. However, it can be secured here in the middle clasp opening like so. Okay, and this bag is a great alternative for those who like the Kelly bag. This is not inspired by the Kelly. It has elements of the Kelly bag, hence by this little clasp mechanism here, and almost its trapezoidal shape as well is quite reminiscent of the Kelly bag. What's key for an alternative bag is that it has key components of the bag that will remind you of a particular design or style of bag, but it is not the exact same thing. It still has elements that are different and unique on its own. And one of the unique elements is this swinging handle. It does have a crossbody strap that is kind of useless, and I believe on the Hermes Kelly one it is a bit more functional. And this clasp here does not work in this fashion. You can utilize this to push to open it up and then go so. I manhandle it, to be honest, and open it. And yeah, it has elements that remind you of it. It's like, oh, that reminds me of it, but it's not an exact design. So that is what an alternative is. It is something that can be still of good quality, okay, because there are even some alternatives even in the luxury space towards that, but the key thing is that the symbols that, or the elements of the bag that recognize it as a Kelly bag, some of them are seen here in this Lee Radswell bag. That's why it is an alternative. And another reason why it's an alternative, not only is it not made by Hermes, it's made from a different brand with their own branding on here, their own style elements on here, and their different price tag and craftsmanship on here just the same. So you're not getting the exact same bag design, but you're getting what the brand has to offer in their price tag, their craftsmanship, and everything that they have to offer. So those two are my dupe and alternative examples. Now for the counterfeit examples, I don't have any in my closet because that's not something I personally take a part of. However, there are countless videos online talking about DHgate and all these other companies, but it's usually DHgate in which people are getting their luxury items from. Now, in terms of the quality of materials that are being used, that is something up to discussion. I don't really know. Some of them could be leather, genuine leather, or it could be faux leather and things of that nature. However, the price tag is definitely significantly reduced. The reason why I would consider these counterfeit is because unlike the dupe options that I've showed you here and also in my dupe collection video, they try to mimic the actual luxury brand or whatever brand it came from logo and branding on their bags to make it seem as if it is coming or you bought that particular item from that brand. So that's why I would consider it counterfeit. If they just, you know, put their own little logo on it, even if it doesn't have to be shown, it could be in the inside, they could be considered a dupe situation and not counterfeit. But unfortunately, since they are mimicking the same branding patterns, everything that is a motif of that brand is considered a counterfeit, at least in my eyes. And it can be a bit tricky with navigating in the YouTube world in terms of like how people classify things. Now, can it be used in the same fashion as a dupe? Yes, you can utilize these bags that you would get from DHgate and so forth as a way to try out a style, to see if you really like that kind of logo moment on you and see if it works for you. Or if you really refuse to buy into a brand, and because they're, you know, to be honest, I understand, they're rich already. They have the money, you know. Why am I making them rich further? I can understand that rationality. Hence why I will do some dupes at times, because you're just like, or if I do a luxury purchase, I do want a discount. And I'll wait for it to go on a discount, unless I thoroughly like it. I'll wait for it to go on a discount, because guess what? It's not hurting anyone. The only thing is just a benefit for me, because I got it at a cheaper price. I may have to wait a bit longer. I may lose out on it, whatever the case may be. However, I would rather do a dupe rather than a counterfeit item. And depending on the type of dupe that you get, depending on how the company decides to make the item, the materials used, and the craftsmanship, you can still be paying a pretty penny. It will not be cheap at all, or it could be a little bit on the cheaper side. Case in point, my Cape Robin sandals that are due for the Valentino ones. I don't think I paid more than probably $35 if I'm mistaken. And I got 2 of them, you know what I mean? And so that's 35 each, not 35 combined. So and I'm quite happy. Let's see, I'm very interested to see how those work out for me. And as I said, if they work out to be fine, no problems, I'll stick with them to the day I die. However, if there's any malfunction, something pops off, they're uncomfortable, whatever the case may be, I'll plunk down the $400 and get the real one. But I don't want to do that because it's plastic. It is jelly sandals. So these are the things that you, as I said, will definitely reason with and navigate within your mind as to what you would want to spend your money on, depending on the design and how much you like it. If you'd rather get the real thing, an alternative, or a dupe. And some people decide to go and get counterfeit items along with that. But yes, so this is my quick short video as to what I believe alternative versus a dupe versus a counterfeit item is. And I call them counterfeit items. They're not dupes, because they try to mimic exactly, as much as possible, the real thing. And I personally don't think that's right, you know, but I can understand why people will gravitate towards it. Everything has a market. If there wasn't, it wouldn't exist. That's just the reality of the situation. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And as I said, please be mindful and polite in the comment section. Everybody comes from different walks of life, and you just have to be mindful of that. Okay, bye.